Hi everyone, I hope you all are doing well. This is Radhika here again. This video is going to be about love from the Manipur chakra, which is the solar plexus chakra. And this video is one of the videos of the series that I'm doing in the members section of the YouTube channel. So basically, I'm going through all of the chakras from root chakra to the crown chakra and basically explaining how love manifests at different levels. Um, so, this video particularly, I'm going to make it public because relates, it highly relates to narcissistic people, people who suffer from NPD or BPD or a histrionic personality disorder. Um, so, any personality disorders, a lot of them are related to the Manipur chakra because the Manipur chakra or the solar plexus chakra is the one that gives you the sense of being. It's the sense of you, the image that you have, who you are, who you think you are, who you want to project to the world you are. So it's all about the ego, who you think you are, who you want to be, who you don't want to be, who you want to be looked at as, etc. So it's all about the ego. So narcissistic people are mostly operating from this chakra, from this energy center, because for them it is very important how they appear to the world. um, so that's why I decided to make this video public because I think it will help um, whoever views it. Hopefully it will help whoever views it. So let's look a little bit at the Manipur chakra. So Manipur means the place where a pearl resides, and this is basically, the pearl is basically your ego. Like how a pearl slowly develops inside an oyster over time. That's how a person's ego develops from the time the person is born. That's when they actually come into existence, the ego comes into existence. And how slowly through childhood the child will pick up different traits, like, this is what my family believes, this is what my school is saying, this is what my teachers are saying, this is how my friends behave. If I do this, this happens. So the child slowly learns about the world, and then inside, as the intellect develops, the ego and the intellect, they develop together, and actually the heart also develops together. But a lot of times what happens is ego will bypass the heart, because the heart makes the ego suffer. When the heart is your feeling center, so many times what happens is, while the ego is developing, it will bypass the heart and go to the logic. So, say there is a child who's in like a daycare or something like that, and there's a group of friends around, and the child sees that these friends are teasing another friend, and the child has a choice at that point. He can either tease this friend and side with the group, or he can just watch it and not participate, or he can stand up for this person who's being teased and basically kind of separate himself from the other friends who are teasing. So it's all of these choices that the ego makes at every step of the way, not just in childhood but also as a person grows up, till your last day. Basically, you go on making these choices. So a lot of times, um, a person's ego will bypass the heart center and directly go to the brain, because the brain is the center of logic, right? All of the logic, all of the calculations, all of the manipulations, those can be done from the brain. So the child will actually logically figure out, if I do this, this happens. If I do this happens. So the child at that point, as they grow, they keep on making these more and more complex choices, that should I side with the group, should I side with this person who's being teased, or should I just stay away from it all, etc. And when they do the list of pros and cons, they might go one route, and that is how they form their identity. Like, am I the person siding with the group, or am I the person, so that becomes like a flying monkey, or that person can become a narcissist when they grow up, or should I just be like a bystander, so that's like an enabler who'll just like let the situation happen and kind of say that it's not in my hand, like play that card, that I can't control it, so it's just happening. Or they can be someone who sides with the scapegoat, and in that case, they also, by siding with the scapegoat, they also put themselves kind of under the radar of becoming the next scapegoat. So all of these choices kind of shape a person's personality. So that's why the Manipur chakra is very important because, um, depending on the choices that a person makes, that's how a person from this center will love someone. So, if a person's Manipur chakra is very weak, that means that person does not have much of a sense of who they are. They don't know. They are undecided. Should I do this? Should I do that? Sometimes they will go with what the group says. Sometimes they will do, um, basically this way or that way. So they don't have a very clear sense of what they want, so you cannot predict their decisions. So either they will go with the group, or they will go this way, that way. So such a person, when they love, they mostly become like a codependent in the love that they have. So they will start depending on the other person for almost like a personality, because they don't have enough of a personality of their own. So they will start depending on this other person's personality, so they will agree with what they say, they will do what they say. So this person will, take on the codependent role in the relationship. Then, on the other hand, if a person's Manipur chakra is overflowing, so this kind of a person has a very big personality. And big meaning, not powerful, but big meaning they want everyone to have a personality or choices that they have. So, this is more like a dominating or a narcissistic sort of a person who will try to control everyone, either overtly or covertly. But what they want is, they want everyone to be like them, because they feel that theirs is the only personality that should be shining in this environment. They can't let anyone else shine, because then they feel insecure. The ego feels insecure that someone else is shining right now. How can that be? It's a lack mentality, where it's like only I and only I have to be the, like the top dog or the alpha or whatever. So it's a very lack mentality. And these people are more on the narcissistic side of the spectrum. So they are always imposing their views, opinions, ideas, decisions, etc., on other people, either overtly or covertly. And then the middle is like a person who has a really balanced Manipur chakra. So this is a person who knows when to be codependent and when to be narcissistic. So this person has both the sides in balance. If needed, they go with the group when it's a small decision, like, okay, should we go to like a Chinese restaurant or a Thai restaurant? If the group says Thai, this person will say, okay, fine, let's go for Thai. I'm okay with either one. But for big decisions, say it's like a big decision where something unfair is being done to someone with the same group. So this person can also stand up and say that, no, this time I'm not agreeing with the group's decision, I'm going to do it this way. So it's not like a rigid personality where the person is always having their way, or it's like always others are having their way. It's a person who sees things on a case by case basis, and based on the situation they make the right decision. So that's how love will manifest. So even in love, this person will be equally giving, equally taking. If they give, they also want to receive. If they care for someone and someone is not caring for them, they don't become an unbalanced codependent person who's in victim mode, who's saying that I always give, I never get back. So what they will do is they will ask the partner that why aren't you giving to me, because I am giving to you. Or they will, whatever decision they take, they will make sure there's an equal give and take. And on the other hand, if they are someone who's always giving, or always taking, they will also make sure that they give in return. They are not only taking from the other person and becoming like a narcissistic person. So love for a person whose Manipur chakra is balanced is equal give and take of everything, of resources, of time, of love, of care, of intimacy, everything. Everything for this person needs to be in balance. And they want their personality to grow, as well as they want their partner's personality to grow, and they want together, both of them, to grow from that place. Like both of them should grow together. It should be a equal give and take, equal balance, equal masculine feminine. So it will be, if a person's Manipur chakra is balanced, it will be a very nice, harmonious, very organic, growing sort of a relationship. Yeah, so that was this video, and a lot of you might identify with people who, like, how you fall on the spectrum, if you are more on the codependent side or more on the narcissist side or the balance side. And as well as people who, like narcissists, if you know them, you will realize that a lot of people who are on the narcissistic side of the spectrum, their love is actually all about taking. It's all about what it gives to them. So sometimes they might be in a relationship with someone because it makes their Manipur chakra grow. Like, it could be with a very beautiful partner, or it could be a rich partner, or it could be like a really brainy partner, like something like that. It's like almost like a status, uh like possession that you have, like as they say, like trophy wife or trophy husband, that kind of a thing. That it's the person is there just in order for this person's ego to grow. Like how you become famous by association, kind of like that. So since you don't have that kind of a balanced Manipur chakra, you don't make things happen for yourself. What you do is you associate with someone whom you see. If you are associated with that person, it brings you a certain level of status or of ego ego boost. What they say, like, a lot of men, they'll get ego boost if they have like a partner who's younger or better looking or something like that. And a lot of ladies, they will go for partners who have a lot of money, or, I mean, these are stereotypes, but you do see them, in real life. So it's not all like made up. But sometimes people do these kind of things in love, and that is basically love manifesting from an unbalanced Manipur chakra. So that was this video. I hope you guys liked it. And the next video that I'm going to be making is love from the heart chakra. And then later in the series, the throat chakra and Ajna chakra and the crown chakra are actually all clubbed into one video, because beyond this point, love becomes unconditional. And when that love is unconditional, it's not love for like a husband or a wife, or like a partner. It's love for, it's love in, for love, you know, it's love for creation, or it's love for everything and nothing. So it becomes like an unconditional sort of a love, which is kind of esoteric to explain, but I'll try to do my best. So there will be two more videos on this series in the members section, but yeah, this one is available to everyone. If you guys want to join the members section, please click on the join button that you see on the main page of my channel. And as always, I thank you all for your support to this channel. I hope you all are staying safe and healthy during this time. And as always, I wish you all a lot of love and a lot of light. Thank you. Bye.